Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. My name is Troy, and today I'm going to be doing the complete update to the Anyone Can Invest portfolio. For anybody that's new here, this portfolio was began 2 years ago to show the ups and downs of beginning a dividend portfolio from scratch. If you guys want to see the very first episode from that video, I'm going to go ahead and link that playlist at the very end of this video for you true sickos. But now let's go ahead and dive in to where we were last episode. All right, looking here, what I want to show you guys is the cost basis total of all of these positions. So last episode, our goal cost basis per holding was $295. So you guys will be able to see we're at $294 and some change for all of these stocks. The portfolio value down here at the bottom was sitting at $3,524.77, which actually, believe it or not, 58 episodes in, last episode had this portfolio down $20.23 or 0.57%, which is obviously not a good thing to see, but the market's been beating us up pretty bad. So that's unfortunate. But now what we did this week, we added that $60 back into the portfolio like we do every other week. And because of Good Friday, I actually had to do manual investments because it was going to have me investing on Monday, which that messed me up in previous episodes. So what I did is I actually postponed the Monday investment. I did my own investment of $5 and some change to get them as close to $300 as I possibly could. And that's where we are. So here you can see all of those investments and how much was in each stock. And now look at this beautiful chart. So we have a goal amount of $300. And if you look to the far right of this one, the amount to goal is so small for all of these stocks. First of all, I can't invest anything under $1 at a time. So this is as close as we're going to get. If you want to total all these up, that's $2.16 off of perfect balance, which I'm pretty sure is as close as we've ever been, possibly since the beginning of this series. So next, let's go ahead and look into, I call this chart right here, the episode over episode momentum chart. So you guys can see episode 58 in the second column, and that's how much the stock was up or down on an individual basis last episode when I recorded. Now you'll go to the next column, column 3, where it says episode 59. That's where this stock is now. So that's 2 weeks later. The last column shows you what the percent gain or loss is on that specific stock just over the past 2 weeks. The good thing is, and the difference between this episode and last episode, is there's a lot more green. I think last episode, every single stock, maybe except for one, was in the red. So like I said, we were getting beat up last episode. This one, we still have 3 stocks in the red, and 2 of them are pretty bad, almost 5% between the 2 of them, or each, I guess. This episode, all of them except for those 3 are in the green. That STLD at the bottom is kind of wild. That one was up 11.43% over just the past 2 weeks. So you do like to see that. So next, this video, I guess, that you guys are going to see, I don't know if it's going to play on my end. I'm going to play it so I can figure out what I'm talking about. So this one is, I call this the lifetime momentum. So as this is rolling, this shows each stock and how it's moved up and down in the portfolio. Some of these have become my best performers, and some of them have become my worst performers, and anywhere in between. So Humana's done that a lot, where Humana was really, really bad for a long time. Then it came up, and then now it's down towards the bottom again. AVGO has been towards the top the whole time, but it also has given back a lot of its gains, over the last couple weeks and months. So that's where we are with the lifetime momentum chart. Next, I want to actually show you guys the best and worst performers and how these stocks are doing individually. So once again, like I just alluded to, AVGO, best performers, up 57%, which sounds great. But if you know at one point we were over 100%, you guys can see that pullback I was just talking about. Once again, Humana is our biggest loser, down 35.19%. It's been down there, actually, I think worse than that before. So 35.19%, while that is not good, it's been worse. So I guess we hold on to that. So anyway, we go down here to the bottom. Current total of the portfolio sits at $3,671.32. And I actually thought the portfolio's total value was that -24 and then -0.68, but I read it wrong, which I'm glad I did, because the portfolio is now back in the green. So we had a good, past 2 weeks, I guess, a better past 2 weeks. We're back up in the green, $64.66 in the green to be exact, or 1.8%. So this little video, let me go ahead and play it on my side. This little video right here shows the full portfolio. So not a stock by stock breakdown, but specifically the portfolio itself. And you guys can see the up and down, up and down, up and down. That's why they call it the roller coaster of the stock market. This is I don't know if people on Roller Coaster Tycoon would even get on this ride or if the nausea would be too high. But you guys can see, look at that. We're building up. We're geniuses, right? We're making all kinds of money up there. And then we have the big drop, right? Big drop. And then we have the little rebound of where we are now with the 1.8%. I don't know why I just did that. It's probably not going to come out like that in the video, but we'll see. So magic of editing, maybe it fixes it, maybe not. So next, what I wanted to show you guys is the dividends that came into this portfolio just since last episode. So what we have right here is we had, it looks like 4, but technically it was 3 payments, one of which was an interest payment. So on March 31st, we had 96 cents come in from Broadcom. And if you look at this little chart, you can see down here at the bottom that 96 cents. And then up at the top where it's in the red, you'll see AVGO has now paid us, they crossed the $5 mark, $5.03, which is is 7.55% of the total dividends paid in just this ACI account. Because I have all my other accounts and I exclude them for these videos just to keep track of this portfolio by itself. So anyway, next we get into SPAXX, which is the interest payment on the cash sitting in the account. This one it's probably one of the last times I'll show this big chart, honestly, just because it's getting hard to get the full size screenshot in there for you guys. But anyway, down here at the very, very bottom, you can see March 31st, we received 6 cents in interest on SPAXX. In total, they've now paid us $2.76, which isn't bad just for money that we're waiting to do bonus investments, but we'll get on that later. I'll show you guys where we are with that. So the final dividend that we got between last episode and where we are right now was on April 2nd, the day after April Fool's. From Plute Group, we got 0.64, or also known as 64 cents. I don't know why I said it like that. So 64 cents. So on April 2nd, you can look at this chart. You can see that 64 cents. I want you to notice how every one of these payments is growing. It was like that for AVGO, but I forgot to show you that, or pointed out, I guess. So every payment is growing. This one's now 64 cents. In total, PHM has now paid us $2.83, or 4.25% of the total dividends paid in this ACI account. So what we're going to do now is we're going to round up these numbers, see where we finished April and where we finished March, where we finished Q1, and where we are in April. So let's check that out. So right here, we have March 1st, or I guess Q1, March, we finished with $2.47. Obviously, nobody's writing letters about that, right? But that was 83% higher than March of last year, which we like to see. We finished Q1 at $26.31, which was 116.4% higher than Q1 of last year. And now here we are at April. This one's pretty cool. So we're all, well, actually, I read it wrong. It's not pretty cool. Anyway, we have that 64 cents in April. We've only gotten one dividend payment in April. We're only 68.3% away from April of last year. And April just started. So we have plenty of time to keep that momentum going and see where we can set the bar for April of 26, because obviously that's going to be the bar we try to clear for April of 27 and so on. So last thing down here at the bottom, you guys can see total for 2026 so far, we're at $26.95, 5 cents short of $27. We're averaging $2.25 per month, or 7 cents a day. And we're only 17% off of what we received for all of 2025, and we just started Q2. So I think it's pretty safe to say we're going to crush that number. It's just a matter of how high, once again, we set the bar for 2027. So next thing I wanted to talk about is the bonus investment. So what the bonus investment is, for anybody that doesn't know, is the bonus investment is quite literally all the stocks in the portfolio pay vastly different amounts. And I didn't want to have AbbVie getting way ahead of something like KNSL, which pays, the yields on those two are completely different. Like one's pretty high and one's pretty low. I didn't want AbbVie's dividend dripping into itself, because then AbbVie's going to be very overweighted in the portfolio. So I was like, okay, let me hold all the money back. And once it reaches one investment, which for us is $60, $5 into each stock, then I'll do a bonus investment where I add $5 extra into every stock in the portfolio all at the same time. So they all, are at the same amount of money that I put in them. And then the only thing that separates them is how well they're doing. The market judges all that. So anyway, you guys can see right here. So this bonus investment estimator, I built this thing. Maybe it's fancy, maybe it's not. I don't know. You guys be the judge. But so we have the current patty of $39.38, the current biweekly patty of $1.51, and the cash sitting in the account is at $8.82. That's relevant because it's going to make it look like we quote unquote lost a little progress because, like I said, this is the closest in balance the portfolio has been in a while because I had to do manual investments and it wasn't the Fidelity's automatic $5 investment. So I was able to put, $5.64 if it was a little underbalanced or whatever. So we had the first bonus investment was completed on January 9th of this year of 2026. Now our projected bonus investment date, I think it moved back 2 weeks because of the new balancing that I did, but it's sitting at July 26th of 2027. Obviously, that's a long ways away. We don't like that. But the good news is that's 563 days from the first bonus investment to that second bonus investment projection date. So if you look at the bottom chart, you guys can see we had that 724 days. Now, obviously, I want it to be way faster than 563 days, and we'll get there. But the fact that it's already, 150-ish days quicker, like that's what we like. That's the snowball. That's the compounding. That's all that stuff. So we like that. Like I said, I don't like seeing that date move back, but we're as close to balance as we're going to be. Hopefully the next investment, we get a couple dividend raises. Things keep going well. We'll knock some time back off of it and, keep quote unquote moving in the right direction. Last thing I want to show you guys before we head out is what's coming, right? So I'm recording this video on April 4th, which is that little white dot in there. So what we have next, I actually should have looked that up. Let me see if I can do this super quick while I'm on this recording with you guys. So you guys can see the next video. So this video should come out either on the 4th. I'm going to try not to do a lot of editing, which is why I'm trying to do this like no script kind of thing I'm doing here. Try to get this posted maybe on the 4th, maybe the day I'm recording it. We'll see. So between now and then, that means the video should come out between the 4th and the 6th, which means the next video would be on April 20th, meaning we have the STLD dividend on the 10th, and we have that Intuit dividend on the 17th. As far as ex-dividend dates go, the 9th, because you can't see it on the screenshot, so I had to go pull up my app. The 9th, the ex-dividend dates are from Intuit and MasterCard. So that's the day that those two companies lock in their dividend, tell us exactly what we're going to be getting. And more importantly, like what we're going to be getting based on the number of shares we have at that date. And then on the 15th, the ex-dividend date is with AbbVie. And that's, like I said, that's our highest dividend payer, like our highest yield. That one will pay out, I think, in May. So that's a really, really good one for us in May. But, we like to see that. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of this video. Like I said, I'm doing this. I don't have really much of a script. What I did is I took all the pictures that you guys will see in the video, put them on a PowerPoint, and I just kind of talk about them. There's some stutters in there. There's some mess ups. I apologize. But if you guys like this kind of stuff, it's going to be way easier for me to edit it because I'm not going to edit it. I'm just going to put the videos in when I'm talking or the pictures and stuff, and we're good to go. So if you guys like that, let me know. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, you want to say nice hair, or I like that champion shirt you're wearing for the Thunder, let me know in the comments. But until next time, see ya.